Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 19 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. So, as I have posted the last two videos, and as I mentioned in those last two videos, I haven't been as active in the past couple of weeks, especially in Moon Series. We're actually going to find our first opponent right away. But my goal is basically to get a video out every couple of days. I think part of the reason why I'm not as into daily content right now is because one, that takes up more time, and I think a lot of people obviously aren't as interested in watching VGC 19 Moon Series specifically, but I know a lot of you guys still do like the content, so I'm still going to try to do some videos every couple of days or so that's kind of how I spaced it out. And I'm going to record a bunch. I know these next 2 weeks are super hectic for me, so I'm going to try to get some videos recorded in advance, so we'll see how that works out. But either way, yeah, thank you guys for watching as always, and if you do enjoy, please share support by leaving a like. I'd appreciate it. Really interesting first team we're going up against today. There's a Crawdaunt and a Hitmontop. We're actually pretty close to the 1800s. We haven't lost any games with this team so far. We only played 2 episodes, but we've won a couple of against a couple of pretty high-rated opponents. It'd be pretty cool to get into the 1800s, especially because I haven't been as active in Moon Series. So we'll see if we can get there. This team is super good, though. It's definitely carried me. And once again, this was built by my friend Jake Major, who won the Collinsville Regional Championships with it. What the heck? Okay, so it's clearly a Trick Room team from my opponent's end. So for that reason, Amoongus is necessary. Amoongus. Would it be crazy to go Amoongus Volk? Do I even bring Zern here? Still okay, I guess. Alright, that was a terrible Pokemon choice. Instant is definitely better in this matchup. Yeah, I don't I'm leading Volcarona. That's actually not necessarily too bad. The idea behind the Volk lead is it dunks on the one Trick Room user, which is Necrozma. And if you have Kyogre, I can just switch out into Groudon. Amoongus also puts on Spore pressure immediately, but I think leading Instant Volk might have been better. Although this lead makes me look pretty smart right now, I would say. Just there's so many mind games right now. The question is, who in the world do I Z-move? So if I Z-move Amoongus and it protects, Necrozma could just go for a Photon Geyser into my Amoongus. If I Z-move the Necrozma and it protects, Amoongus could just Spore Volcarona. This is a really important decision. I think it's better for me to still Spore Necrozma, Z-move Amoongus. Nice. If Amoongus doesn't protect here, that's a great turn 1. Oh. Alright, that makes me feel pretty good right now. Unless this is Sash or Akaberry Amoongus, this should get the knockout. Yeah, I mean, the reasoning behind this play is, worst case, you protect Amoongus, I still get chip damage, you Photon Geyser, knock out my Amoongus, but then I get into switching into Groudon, and I'm putting on all this offensive pressure with Precipice Blades. Nice. Okay. Getting rid of Amoongus is really key here, because I've got my own Amoongus, and now if my opponent wants to set up Trick Room, I can just nuke you with Amoongus. Also, if you bring in Kyogre here, I can just switch Amoongus out into Groudon and overheat the Necrozma. So... But it's Crawdaunt making an appearance, okay. Things I did not expect to see today. That. I'm actually leaning towards just Rage Powdering and Sporing the Necrozma. Because if I Spore Necrozma, what's your Crawdaunt gonna do against Amoongus? I guess Dark Z move, but... Yeah, I'm really not too worried about Crawdaunt in the long run, right? I guess overheating their Slayfer, it's just I'm worried about Photon Geyser getting an... Yeah, he is getting a Photon Geyser, so that's really good for us, because now the biggest threat to my Amoongus is out the way. I was going to say should have knocked out Volk, but I underestimated it. That could be bad. But it's just knockoff. I don't think that knocks us out, right? Okay. You never know with these, dude. Okay, so that's good for us. I regret just not overheating, though. I don't know if that knocks out Necrozma. That's the main reason I didn't go for it. Yeah, I feel like I might have tossed it with that play last turn. Crawdaunt's out. I need to win the Weather Ward, that's the key thing. If I bring in Crawdaunt, I actually don't win it. And you can switch it. I think I need to actually knock out Crawdaunt. Wow. Wow. I didn't think Photon Geyser would knock out the Volcarona. I really underestimated its damage there. Kind of want to just... I think Crawdaunt here should protect. Yeah, I want to switch out Amoonguss and then back in for Regenerator. Like, if I get a 3-turn sleep here, I probably win the game, but I shouldn't rely on that right now, so... Is there any reason to Geomancy? I don't think so, right? Well, if the Crawdaunt protects here, then there is reason to. I should Moonblast. Yeah, so the way this like covers most of the options, like Crawdaunt protects here or attacks. If it attacks, I just get the knockout. If it protects, then I've got Groudon out against Necrozma. He's not going to protect. So the downside is now Kyogre can come out. But I do get the knockout. Pretty cool to see Crawdaunt though. That actually did so much damage to the Amoonguss. Okay, I mean, now this is actually scary because I lose on a 1-turn wake up. I mean, I guess it's like I don't 100% lose. I'm 100% switching out Groudon into Amoonguss here, though. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I switched out was for the Regenerator. Plus, if Crawdaunt protects and Necrozma takes a turn to sleep, then the next turn gets a little bit dicier. So, like, I'm still not in the worst of positions right now. But I'm going to switch out into Amoonguss and... I think it's best actually just to Moonblast here. I don't want to protect Xerneas because I want to take advantage of the fact Necrozma's asleep right now. There should not be Scarf Ogre either because it's on a Trick Room team. Yeah. And a special attack drop here would be huge for us, but even if not... He's just going to Scald. Okay, that's good. Into Zern? Oh, interesting. And Necrozma does stay asleep. Okay. Geomancy would have been better there, I think. I'm actually thinking about hard switching out right now again. Because I think you Photon Geyser here. So I'm going to hard switch and Geomancy. If you knock out the reasoning is, okay, if you wake up and you knock out Zern, that's okay, because now I get Groudon out with Rage Powder support from Amoonguss. And if Necrozma stays asleep for another turn, then we should just win here. But I don't like how I play this game too much after the beginning. I should have just overheated the Necrozma. I mean, even if it's not knocking out, that damage is really good. Alright, it's going to Scald the Zern. Yeah, so we survived that. And Necrozma stays asleep. So we got kind of lucky on sleep turns. Like, I don't think they necessarily mattered, but they made my life a lot easier. I'll Precipice Blades here, and... Actually, it's better to Swords Dance here and Moonblast the Kyogre. Yeah. Because Necrozma, even with the Z move, I don't think knocks out Groudon. If you go for Protect Trick Room, that's fine. I could have just Dazzled Precipice Bladed, but I don't know if that knocks out. And I'm okay if Necrozma wakes up here. I mean, it has to wake up, sorry. But now Swords Dance, like Precipice Blades at +2 should just get the knockout. Yeah, so let's see what it goes for. Yeah, he is gonna Trick Room, but it's like now you Trick Room, then I can just bring in a Amoonguss and Rage Powder Precipice Blades. Plus I've got the Sun up. So gonna protect here for sure. And I'll go for a Moonblast. But Xerneas should go down here obviously. But By bringing in a Mungus, then you can't just get a knockout, or you can't burn me with Scald. Yeah, so Photon Geyser comes out, that's fine. Part of the reason I had to play this way is because there's no Protect on this Mungus either, which makes things a little bit trickier. Even with the burn, we're still really okay. I mean, we don't even need a Rage Powder here, right? I think I can just Spore. Precipice Blades. Question is who to Spore. Necrozma can Photon Geyser, which could knock out a Mungus. Kyogre can Scald Burn. Better to target Necrozma, I think, because it knocks out the Amoonguss. And Kyogre protects now. I mean, it could be a double protect, but that's fine if it is, and it's not. Nice. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. This was not the cleanest. Like, turn 1 was great, you know, made a great read, and it paid off, but after that, not as much. I think overheating would have just been better. So the reason I didn't overheat was because I was like, the Necrozma, I mean, wow, this actually survives. Is it weakness policy? No, it's buried. But that's fine, because now I can just Spore the Kyogre, Precipice Blades. It's one bulky boy. Yeah, going back to why I didn't go for why I went for the Rage Powder play, because I was like, oh, Crawdaunt has a water type attack, right? So you would think, oh, let me just go for the, I was thinking, yeah, Photon Geyser into a Moongus, and then I guess knockoff into Volcarona makes sense. Although you did see me use the Z move, so like Volcarona would not have fainted there. Part of me wonders if it's better to Rage Powder there to avoid getting crit by the Necrozma, but I see that it's clearly pretty bulky, so it shouldn't be able to knock out Groudon, and it clearly doesn't have a Z move. So yeah, I don't even think with the crit it knocks out Groudon. We get a little bit fortunate there with the 3-turn sleep. I don't, once again, think it was like a game changer, but like I mentioned, if I get it, then I just like win. If not, then I have to play a little bit more carefully, but I still felt okay about my position. But yeah, the main reason I went for the Rage Powder there was because I was like, okay, surely you want to go for the knockout onto a Moongus with Photon Geyser and then the knockoff onto Volcarona. I also have to worry about something like Aqua Jet, although I guess that doesn't make a difference because... Yeah, actually, looking back, if you do have Aqua Jet, then you just Aqua Jet the Volk, and I faint anyway despite Rage Powdering, so it's better to just overheat there. So I think that was a pretty major error, I would say. I just didn't want to lose both Pokemon on one turn. I was thinking, oh, if you Photon Geyser or Waterfall me, I could lose both, but I wasn't even thinking about Aqua Jet, which was a possibility as well. Not sure if that one-shots Volk. Never found out the item on the Crawdaunt either, but yeah. So another win here might get us into the 1800s if my opponent's in the 17s. I actually just missed the rating. It's going up against another Zerndon, but with Tapu Lele and Drifblim. So we've seen some pretty cool stuff in the last couple of episodes. Shedinja, Talonflame, Driflele, and then Crawdaunt, which I 100% was not expecting. Part of the thing you have to worry about for Drifblims now is whether they carry acrobatics or not. Like, so in 2017, even 2018, like the Drifblims would run like Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball, Tailwind, and then like a Flex 4th move. Most of them run Sunny Day now for opposing Scarf Ogres in this format. I mean, the typical 4 of Incin, Volk, Groudon, Zern seems okay here. It's just, I do have to worry a little bit more about acrobatics. I can't fake out if Lele's out on the field. But I still like leading Incin Volk. You get the initial Intimidate off, I have Fake Out support. It's just such a consistent lead, honestly. And once again, not the biggest fan of Koko in a matchup where I have to bring it against Groudon and Venusaur. It doesn't do too much damage. It's more support-oriented. Amoonguss is a Pokemon you really could make an argument for here, because obviously it checks Groudon's Zern pretty darn well, but the Lele makes me a lot more scared. Plus, worrying about Flare Blitz from Incin, I can't Spore the Venusaur. There's a couple of things. So we'll see if my opponent goes for Driflele as a lead. If so, it will be quite interesting. I think the play I'll most likely make if that's the case is either Z-move Lele and Snarl or Tailwind Snarl. Or even switch out. There are options for sure. The thing is, if you lead Driflele, it's like you're in such a passive position where you don't do too much damage and you're back to your surely going to be Groudon Zern. So it's going to be Groudon Venusaur instead, but that's fine with me. You know, I get Fake Out Pressure, I get the Intimidate off against Groudon, and I can do whatever I want with Volk. I had Tailwind right now, I could overheat, Z-move. You know, my opponent's Crawdaunt should be scared of the Z move, so you would think he's going to want to switch out. So, let's see. The best play for me is to fake out Tailwind. But part of me wants to just dunk on the Groudon. My goal should, however, honestly, to knock out the Venusaur, if anything. It's just that we could see, like, an Incin, protect and switch into Incin. That could be annoying. And I feel like my opponent should have Incin Zern in the back. Part of me wants to U-turn expecting to protect. Alright, this is an overly risky play that I don't like, but we'll see if it works. Oh, he just sludge bombs. No protect or switch from either. That is, that's not what I expected, I will say. So I expected Crawdaunt to protect and Venusaur to switch into Incin. That makes me quite sad, because even though I get Tailwind up, wow. Yeah, I really did not think, like, surely I just really thought my opponent has to play a little bit more scared of the Z move there, because the Z move into either is really bad. So I was expecting, yeah, it ends up being a bad play, and that's why it was not a great play. I went for it because I was, like, feeling it, but it didn't work out too great for me. That's okay, though. I get Tailwind up, and now I can bring out Zern and fake out Geomancy. That looks like it's Banded Groudon. Should be Banded Groudon, based off how much it did. So instead, you imagine if I just fake out, like if I make the obvious play of fake out Venusaur, Z move Groudon, that's such a good turn one, but it's actually not really the worst case here for us. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. I just cannot believe that was like about the last play I expected my opponent to make. That was like the worst case scenario, actually. In the worst case in the sense that like it's kind of risky to go for that turn one, but obviously I made a play that was pretty vulnerable to that. But I do get the Geomancy now. Groudon's at -2, maybe Banded. Even if I go down 2-4, that's not the worst case if I get Xerneas next to Groudon. And if you miss... Actually, I'd prefer Precipice Blades to hit right now, I think. But yeah, that turn one could have played out very differently. I just don't like fake outing Venusaur and Z moving Groudon in case... If Groudon switches into Incin, like that's kind of ugly. But I think it's probably better to still just fake out Tailwind. Yeah, I mean, I want a Tailwind there, but the other thing I was leaning towards, which is actually Z moving the Venusaur, because then that's like the biggest counter to my Xerneas out of the way. Okay, so I'm Geomancied up. Groudon should knock out my Incin here, so I get the free switch into my Incin. Alright, we'll see how confident I am with the late 2-4 sweep. Venusaur flinches, Precipice Blades. Does connect with both. Hopefully no crit. Crit would end the game instantly. Okay, good. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So now we get our Groudon out. I guess the question is, does Moonblast knock out Venusaur? Shouldn't have any bulk. It's a Life Orb variant as well. I think I need a Moonblast Venusaur. And the question is, do I Swords Dance here? I think it's actually a decent time to Swords Dance. It's relatively risk-free. I need the Moonblast to knock out Venusaur, though. If it doesn't, I actually just lose. Okay, good. Groudon's still staying in, so he's just clicking -1, -2 Precipice Blades. I do get the Precipice Blade, or sorry, the Swords Dance off. He's obviously going to Precipice Blades. Hit all of them so far. Miss would have been really good on Zern there, but I can't complain about that. Because now the Zern is actually kind of like on a timer. The question is, who does my opponent have in the back? That's the main thing. You'd imagine Xerneas for sure. I've still got Tailwind up, which is actually a really big deal as well, because that means I could get another Swords Dance off with my Groudon. And then Precipice Blade should just knock out everything. But all the Precipice Blades connecting have been slightly unfortunate. But, I mean, once again, obviously it's more in your opponent's favor for it to hit than to miss. As Lele comes out. Okay. Can't say I was expecting that. -2. Last turn of Tailwind on our end. I mean, what's stopping me from just Gleaming Precipice Blading? Scarf Lele, I suppose? Which might outspeed my Crawdaunt? I don't think it should, right? Depends on how... I like Gleam Blades here. Might just protect Lele, sack Crawdaunt, in which if I miss Precipice Blades, I actually lose. Unless the Precipice Blades also knocks out my, misses my Xerneas. Yeah, I don't like the idea of Swords Dancing again here because my opponent hasn't used the Z move yet. It's very probable Lele has it, so it's a little bit aggressive to go for a second Swords Dance when he could... No protects, okay. Is Lele Scarfed? Okay. Interesting. I actually don't remember how much speed investment this Crawdaunt has, so I don't think a Scarf Lele... Yeah, Scarf Lele definitely doesn't even outspeed me there. So I don't know, that wasn't too much of it. That's why I went for Gleam Blades there. Because this Crawdaunt does have some speed investment, plus Tailwind is still up, so it doesn't matter what my opponent's last one is, either of these should be able to knock it out. Yeah, that's why I said I felt pretty comfortable, as Xerneas is my opponent's last one, about the position that I was putting myself in. So even though turn 1 obviously didn't go too great, we see my opponent didn't actually bring in Incineroar, ended up opting for Xerneas instead. Which was an interesting decision. Sorry, not Xerneas, I meant the Lele. But the upside is, if my opponent has Lele, then if I'm fake outing on the first turn, which I actually very obviously could have gone for it. Maybe my opponent wasn't expecting me to fake out because my opponent was like, oh, he should know that I have Tapu Lele in the back. That would make sense as well. But yeah, my opponent didn't bring in Incineroar. Xerneas protects, but it doesn't really matter at this point because my Xern should just knock it out. Yeah, I don't know how, like, the turn 1 I play I made was definitely overly risky / obviously didn't pay off, so I think like the safer play is to fake out Tailwind there at least instead of U-turning, but I wanted to U-turn for position. Although I guess it actually worked out because it shows how I set my Xerneas up, so maybe it wasn't the worst case. Yeah, we'll just Precipice Blades, Moonblast. Yeah, definitely an interesting game. But even if this isn't, I mean, it should get the knockout, but even if not, and it actually doesn't, Crawdaunt should finish it off. He is going to Geomancy, which is the correct play. It's probably, yeah, it's always better to Rock Tomb there, because slightly higher chance of hitting. And Moonblast is either getting the knockout in which you win, or if it doesn't, Rock Tomb finishes it off 100% of the time, so no reason to risk Precipice Blading there. If anything, that does open myself up to missing Precipice Blades, plus my opponent creating the Crawdaunt. You'd have to Dazzling Gleam there anyway and win the speed tie, but that gives my opponent a slightly higher chance of winning. So yeah, you always want to find the more probable plays to make, or the ones that give you better return in the long run. So it would have been better there just to click Rock Tomb. No reason to risk Precipice Blading because I'm 100% always going to be faster with my Xerneas because I'm Geomancy and my opponent isn't. So yeah, it's just like looking for those small windows where you can optimize your play slightly because, yeah, like maybe the odds are 1 in 1,000 that you lose the game, but the fact is, like, that means one of those 1,000 times, like, it is gonna happen, right? So you want to find the opportunities where you can at least like make those odds just worse for your opponent. Obviously not like if the same scenario happens 1,000 times, you're not guaranteed for it to happen one time, but I'm just saying in terms of making it so that your opponent needs more things to go their way to win. Kind of a long drawn out explanation for something that's not very crazy or elaborate, but yeah, long story short, I mean, there's just no reason not to Rock Tomb there. I mean, in order for me to have lost that one, I don't think Xerneas actually even gets me, even if it crits me with the Dazzling Gleam. But it's just like, once again, might as well optimize your play when there's no reason to go for slightly less optimal plays. But yeah, we do get a couple more wins with this, so we're 6-0 so far with it, pretty good. I think I'll probably play 1 or 2 more episodes with it, and then we'll switch to something else. I know this upcoming week is going to be super packed for me, so I'm trying to maybe just record a couple of episodes here and there in the spare time that I do have. I've got 4 exams in the upcoming week, so RIP me, but we'll see how they go. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Yeah, I don't I don't know. I don't think I played very great with this team, honestly, in the last 3 episodes, but I think the team has been so strong that it's been carrying me, and it's so well built that it gives me pretty good matchups against a lot of the things that I've gotten again. So once again, credits to my friend Jake for building it. He did win the Collinsville Regional Championships. I will link his Twitter in the description below. By the time this video goes up, I'm not sure if he's already posted the team information, but as soon as he does, I'll let you guys know in the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.